Hi Virgo, it's Athena. Welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for your continued support. Okay, so it's great because I've got this beautiful ray of sunshine on my desk just for your reading. And it's absolutely beautiful, by the way. All right, so now I'm getting ready to do Virgo Sun, Moon, Rising for May of 2019. Yes, I said it. May. Unbelievable. Okay. Before I begin, the common thread for the month of May for us all is appreciation. And what does that mean? Well, it's not only appreciating like everything that we have, right? But it's also appreciating where you're at in at this point, at this juncture of your life. So many times we are way too busy looking at the past and looking forward to the future, and without giving, even like an extra minute to really pat yourself on the back for everything that you've learned so far. You've come a long way, and it needs to be acknowledged by you, all of you. So the theme for this month for all is to remain empowered and remain still in the knowledge of how far you have come, the lessons that you've learned, the hardships, the hard knocks in this beautiful life of school. Yeah? It has not been easy. So it's time to say, okay, look at how far I've come. I'm really proud of myself. And I'm talking about being proud like internally. I'm not talking ego. I'm talking take a little inventory of, wow, wow, she's right. When's the last time you said to yourself, shit, I've learned, not shit, but when's the last time you've said to yourself, wow, I've come a long way and I've been through a whole heck of a lot. So acknowledge it to yourself and be appreciative of all the lessons that you've learned so far that has gotten to you, that has gotten each and every one of you to this place on this page, wherever you're at in your life, in the book of life. Okay, now we can start the reading. All right, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm going to move the camera down to where you can see the beautiful shadows of the sun beating down here on my desk. It's really beautiful. All right, so you can't see it as well as I can, but it's really very pretty. See? Okay. All right, let's get started on your beautiful reading for May 2019. Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What are the messages for May? All right. We begin with the beautiful Chariot reversed, however, but it's okay. We don't know what is delaying us. We know that when it's divine timing, it'll be the right time. Let's see what, oh, geez. All right, so now we're feeling like serious pain, emotional loss. Why? The Hermit reverse. Virgo, this is your card. So we have a painful ending and you're not able to move forward from this ending that has taken place. There you go. There's the ending. The death of the old to grow into the new, right? The rebirth. Are you going through a rebirth? Well, very honestly, I mean, this is what I see right off the top here. This is shedding the old skin literally. Shedding the old skin. This is the Kundalini, and the knives are being stabbed. This is the, being backstabbed, right? But it's not in the sense of rebirth. Could be just shedding the old skin in order to make way for the new, so you can start again, right? So you've definitely taken some time to become enlightened, to the point where you may still be finishing up your shadow of the soul process of shedding the old to make way for the new, right? It also could be a literal, if it's not, it could be a literal, if it's not the rebirth, it is a literal emotional loss from something that you feel has really some betrayal, some sort of emotional, huge emotional loss. I say huge because it's a 10, This ending has taken place, and it hurts, whatever this is. And I don't know why I'm hearing, maybe you don't talk about it, but it hurts. Let's see. Knight of Swords reversed. Not talking about it, by the way. Not talking about it to anyone. Palace of Wands, well, waiting for new movement, new creation. It's still, wow, my gosh, Virgo, what is happening here? Okay, repeated lessons being learned. Potentially this cycle ending because these are the same lessons that you've been learning over and over and over again. And you have 2 10s, 10 of Wands and 10 of Swords. So emotional pain on so many levels. I'm so sorry. Thank God we see this sun. Thank God that we see it. So this really makes me, look at this card. From darkness to light, right? Okay, so at the end of the day, everything's going to be okay. It's going to feel great. This ending is sparking a new level of personal power in your soul. Okay? It's also sparking a very clear understanding of this rebirth process. You're going through a huge rebirth here. An awakening, seriously. With these 2 cards, this is huge awakening. And you can see by the card depictions of these cards, from dark to light. Yes? From the rebirth to the enlightenment. From the depths of the soul to the sunlight, to growth, expansion, and to literally be like enveloped in good times ahead after this, after such grief and it's dramatic, I'm hearing. It's like a dramatic loss. The grief that it's like the grief that you can't put words to. You know what I mean? It's that in your heart center, like it reverberates almost to every cell of your soul, of your body, of your soul. And I don't feel it's not something that hasn't happened to you, So now we're going from the dark to the light. So an awakening is happening for my Virgo friends. A huge awakening. And, I'm going to say it with these 2 10s here and the death card. I'm thinking that you probably never want to experience this again in your life. It's being disheveled from every aspect of your life. You know, it's like being in the washer, you know, and just being tumbled around and tossed around, and you're like, holy shit. And you want to hang on to something so bad. You want to hang on to the old, but the universe is saying you need to let go so that the new can come in. So you've got to let go of the past, Virgo. Virgo. Let's see how are we going to do this? Well, all right, let's see how you got to this point. You got to this point because you've been fighting, you were fighting, and you were trying to manifest a situation that you feel was going to be your dream come true, your wish. You put a lot of work, you have put a lot of work into, let's just keep, okay? You've put in a lot of work to avoid an ending from happening. A judgment call, someone wanting to hang on, right? Asking, praying for this ending not to happen. Let it not be so. Trying to find the strength, trying to gain as much strength as you can for this ending not to happen. But you can't avoid the inevitable. You tried, but at the end of the day, someone had to go. Someone had to go. And you've been trying to not let this happen. You really have been trying to avoid it. You're being asked by the universe to let go. I'm just going to put these down so we can continue the story, because that's what I'm being led to do. You've been asked to let go so that, and forgive, so that a new level of commitment, let's put these down, because I'm being asked to look at these cards this way. You're being asked to let's go back one here, to start new and forgive that whatever has taken place in the past, so that you can start a new life and bring real joy, divine love, and joy and happiness into a new life with new love. And I'm going to keep going until I see the world. Okay, that's what I was told to do. Not feeling left out, but this is of your own volition. And here is the ending, the world. You've been asked to let go of this is a cycle that has been continuously going on. You don't get 10 swords and 10 wands if you haven't been through this with the lesson repeating itself over and over and over and over again. Okay? So, we have an ending that is going to happen. You're trying to avoid it at all costs. Literally, at all costs. Let me continue. At all costs. Because it is going to affect your financial stability. All right. Now I'm being told to keep going. So I'm going to keep going. So your financial stability is going to be affected by this ending. It ended because someone was holding on to a third party. Too many cooks spoiling the broth. A younger water sign, Virgo, if that is a younger water sign external to you, that would be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. in the picture. If it's not, and this is your energy because you have water in your sign, then this would be you're not feeling empowered at all. You're like back to childhood. You're almost at a childhood-like state of mind. Because when you hang on to stuff that's not good for you, that's what kids do. So I believe, honestly, that Virgo, there's part of your childhood that needs healing and letting go. And if it's external to you, a judgment of your childhood. Yeah, see, this is what it is. I believe that you are being asked to heal your childhood, Virgo, so that you can let go of all the pain that you have suffered. We're talking about childhood, and we're not talking about third parties in childhood. We're just talking about letting go. Are you hanging on because you have children? Are you worried about the judgment call of potentially child support and having to shell out the money for it? Did someone get pregnant? I don't see the Empress, but I heard it. I just heard it. Let's keep going. This 1 cup is what you want. You don't want these. You had plenty of options at one time. And you tried, you tested the waters, let's say. You did. You tested the waters of these cups and you picked, you know, ones that were not showing their true colors. Some of these cups came out as wolves, snakes. They didn't come out all warm and fuzzy. So some of these, when you were testing these waters, a couple of these cups that you tested out of the 7 came up, this cup and this cup, showing you a different person than what they perceived, or what you perceived them to be. Right? So you took a chance. You took a chance because you thought there was going to be a better cup than you maybe already have. And there was fighting. Someone showing a whole different look. And now the foundation is back to being rocked. The foundation in the household is being challenged. The 5 wands become the 10. So we held on, is what I'm hearing. You kept holding on to all the disagreements, all the fighting, all the this, all the that. You held on, and now it escalated from a 5 to a 10. Because you're refusing to let go of a cycle that has been repeating itself since, I'm going to say, childhood. There's a lesson that continues to come to you, Virgos. There's some lesson that you have not been able to pinpoint. You cannot pinpoint this, and you can't let it go. Even though it's not doing you, it's doing you an injustice, a disservice in your life. So this part has to be let go. Whatever you're hurting right now about, whatever you can't let go, the universe is saying it's going to keep going round and round until you let go. So now it's time. You've got to do it. Okay, so now let's continue. I'm hearing continue. So the cycle continues. You're trying to not lose your coins. You don't want to lose, you need to cut your losses and you don't want to. That's what I'm hearing and seeing. You're being asked to cut your losses and move on. And it's a situation that is not making you empowered. You're not the emperor. Look, what has happened? You need to take your power back. You're looking right at that emperor. And who made you feel less than, Virgo? Who has brought, I'm telling you, this water sign now comes in again. Someone has taken you off of your game. You should be looking at this like that. So you're not feeling empowered to be rightfully in your secure, ambitious state of mind, whereby you reap the fruits of your labor and you're the composer. Let me put that down for a minute. This is what you should be looking like, Virgo. And it's on the table. It looks like this. This is what this is usually you. Right here, front and center. A master composer. To grow, to heal, to nurture. You're the nurturer. You're the mastermind in control of a fruitful life. You require respect. You're the organizer and the efficient one, putting everything, all your ducks are in a row. And you're not feeling it because you won't let go. You won't let go. And look, I mean, come on. So you have to go through this rebirth and this lesson one more time in order to gain all of that quality about what makes you the best Virgo ever. Empowered again. You're going to. But this is a lesson. Look, you're going to be fine. You're going to be confident again, successful. Very brave, because this takes bravery to a whole new level. And you have this water sign that continues to be like that little pin stuck on your side if it is external to you. There are lies, there's deceiving, there's nothing good. And I'm not, this is not, oh my God, these water signs are so bad. But for the situation that we're looking at right now, you're not being honest with yourself. You can't even speak about this to anyone. But it continues to ruin your relationships. Not the person. This is the energy of water. And if this is external to you, there's lies, deception, deceit, manipulation. Someone just took off in the middle of and didn't want to tell anyone. They just took off. There's a ghosting situation here. But it's for it clearly needs to be let go. And if you can let this go, then you're allowed a new beginning. And then you can move on with a new, fresh perspective and being happy. In the meantime, after that, being happy that you we're able to hopefully change your perspective, see the blessing in the situation, not repeat it, so that you can move forward. So let's keep going. Once you change your perspective about what has happened, this is what it is. Now, look at front and center. You're back. You're back. You've been through the depths, darkest parts of your soul. You used your intuition. You have used your intuition. Let me continue here. You've used your intuition. You know that whatever has been stalling, because in your mind, in your mind's eye, in your situation, your mind's eye is toxic. And it's hard. I'm going to tell you right now, it's hard to let go of a toxic situation that is rooted only on potentially sex, drugs, and rock and roll. A lifestyle, not necessarily a person. But you, Virgo, have allowed that lifestyle to be part of your world for a long part of your life. And you end up feeling denied, feeling oppressed. You know, this toxicity hasn't gotten you anywhere. Okay? So we must look at the truth of the situation to the point where we've looked back now. We're at that point now. We are. This is what I've been told to do. We're at this point of releasing toxic relationships, toxic situations that only bring us grief, really dramatic grief, shaking our ground completely, shaking us from the core. It's time to let this go. Okay? It's now time to let this go so that, Virgo, you can be happy again. And this is why you are going through this rebirth. So instead of we are going to end here, because not end the reading, but end at this point of this. This is the culprit, right? This is the culprit that you have been kind of clinging to since childhood. And you have, I mean, I can keep going, but I'm being told to stop so that we can do some clarifying cards on this reading. Okay? So, this is what has been the toxic relationships, the holding on to, and this is part of understanding that you have, the only way for your soul to grow is the death of toxic stuff in your life. Is it, codependency, drug, sex, rock and roll, gambling, whatever is going on here, poor boundaries, fear, shame, and guilt, right? Okay. So that's where we're going to say, let's get some clarifying cards now on this rebirth that you're going through, okay? We will get clarifying cards because these toxic behaviors, you have been suffering for so long, and now it's time to start new. The universe wants you to start new and be happy again. You have, Virgos, you have so much to offer. So much to offer. People need Virgos. Are you kidding me? People need Virgos to be organized, to be, and spiritually, you guys are like off the charts spiritually. Something that rocks your world to this core level that can't even be discussed. You know, you can't even talk about it because, you know, it's the devil. It's what's done in the night, right? Okay, but the sun is coming out. This rebirth you are going to complete in May. And you're going to be happy again and settled. Right now, it's all, you know, like they say, it's always darkest before the dawn. Okay, that's good. Virgo for May. There it is. You are facing, you are looking in the mirror and looking at a you that you once knew and allowing yourself to go through this rebirth in order to grow your soul. Here, and I think I said this last month for Virgo. You have a choice. You're always given a choice. Do you want to continue the pattern of toxicity, or do you want to lighten the load and be happy? But you are going to go through this rebirth whether you like it or not, because this came out. But you are facing yourself in the mirror to grow. These endings are for growth. There you go. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Your stability and security. You're exhausted. It's about fear, anxiety, materialism, because we saw all the coins. Trust. Right? Stress. Addictions. Putting pleasure above all has been going on for too long. And not coming out with like anything tangible. Like a good relationship. Being back in control. This is the Emperor. Getting your mojo back. Getting yourself back by making the right choice. The right choice meaning stability. Something stable. Something, you know, that's going to make you happy again so that you can shine your light. You know what to do with this card. I'm just saying. The yellow around your crown, around your whole being, you're beaming with this yellow, which is personal power, which is self-will, self-esteem. You know. You know. Hope for the future. Absolutely. Faith. Hope. Bring it. Now. It changes. Now. Knowing your decision brings about hope and change for the future. Hello. Now a real relationship, a real union can spiritually be had. One that is of devotion, of giving and receiving love, divine love. But it had to come from you first, you see. It had to come from you first. And you know that. You knew that in between all of this came this hope, You had to have faith in yourself to bring this to the forefront of your life. First of all, to recognize it when you look in the mirror. You recognize what you see. You know, we all know. We know, right? We know what is going to make us happy, right? And what is just an illusion of sheer, like, pleasure and no boundaries. Well, that hasn't done anything for you. It just brings about pain. And now you're finishing this rebirth, taking back control in your life, having hope for the future, to be with someone who is, this is a higher level of love. This is a compassionate, divine love. Because you meet, then it's time to meet someone who sees the goodness, who loves you for all that you are, with all of it, loving your past as well as who you are at present. That's what everyone searches for. Loving you with all of that past. Accepting you for who you are is divine love. I did see the patience earlier at the bottom. So you are patient during this rebirth. You are being patient, and you are patient with yourself, planting the seeds for your future, new seeds, seeing the higher picture now, understanding that your vision is, and faith, your vision and faith is a lot stronger than all of the temptations. Being loved for all of that and being patient in knowing that that is what you deserve is worth it. Just healing your heart. It's not just healing your heart. It is major healing your heart, your mind, your heart, your soul, so that you can finally find this semblance of happiness and peace. Peace and giving and receiving love in a way that's reciprocated, and not ever feeling this alone again feeling, This is like, that's what the rebirth is. You have to be hit like this to go through a rebirth. You have to sit with yourself and be enlightened. No one can do this for you. This enlightenment that has taken place has to be a solitary process. And then you will appreciate even more the goodness that comes out of having faith and hope and love. Okay? Beautiful. Okay. I'm going to look at the bottom of the deck now. And there you go. You are transforming into someone that is going to shine their light bright with hope and faith and divine love, and getting back your mojo, getting back to being you, getting all that back. You cannot do this, this cycle over again, right? Because then you're going to be facing this again. All right. So now you're not also going to be the same ever again by going through this. And it is it is a journey that you can't speak about. When you are reborn, there's no way you can express express what you go through. It has to just be experienced. Okay. Wow. All right, Virgos. Heavy duty, great rebirth. Finally free to be yourself and to be loved for yourself. Love it. I love that. You have to, but you have to go through the dark night of the soul. It's part of the process of life in order to grow. So that's all I can tell you. That is what rebirth does. Any kind of situation where we have these cards is death and rebirth and a new life. The whole transformative part of the process. Okay, let's go. Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for May. Let's go. We have become enlightened. We see the light. And Serapis Bay sheds the light for all of you to see that victory, that you have been victorious going through this dark night of the soul transformation. Okay, it is a good thing. Purifying your soul, right? Going through all of the stages, part of which is purification. Acknowledging, taking back your life. It's kind of like what happened to Moses, right? Moses was just going about his day-to-day, and lo and behold, was guided to take charge of a tumultuous situation, was asked to go to Mount Sinai, and ended up being given by God the 10 Commandments, which purified Moses. He was guided to be reborn. That's why he came down from the mount with white hair, because he had gained wisdom and understanding of sorry, these cards are hard to pick up, of the shadow side. And when Moses came down from Mount Sinai, he was never the same. He didn't look the same. He didn't act the same. And his love and devotion was to one of divine love. You are never to be the same again, Virgo. How beautiful is that? And Ganesh says yes. How great is that? You will never be the same again, for you have seen the light. You have been reborn, you have been transformed, and as Moses, you have learned and will not be the same person again. You have now opened to a new devotional divine love within yourself. You have found the courage, the strength, the peace, and the truth. There's your strength. Wow. It does take strength to go through what you have been through and what Moses experienced. You guys kind of did the journey as Moses did. Right? You tamed the beast. You're now going with the flow of life and loving life. In the month of May, you will be empowered once again to shine bright, to show the world the greatness that of which you are, and to be the reborn Virgos that, I mean, it's not even, people aren't even going to notice that you are so different because you've let go of something that you knew you had to let go of in order to grow your soul. And that is the only reason why we're here. Okay? That's beautiful. So you've taken charge of your life and you have really shown up because you followed your heart. And that's what happens when you follow your heart. You show up for a new you. And that, Virgo, that's a beautiful reading. Can I tell you? All right, and I'm going to show you the last card because I just saw it and said, oh my God, that's beautiful. So now you are finding with every day the blessings of going through this transformation to build you a new you. You have built yourself up to a very still waters, right? Very peaceful, very beautiful. Look at the landscape. Lord Krishna says, you need to pat yourself on the back, Virgo, because this is not an easy journey. The shadow of the soul, the dark night of the soul is nothing to be, you know, it's not to be discussed, nor is it to be, you know, you can't even talk about it. You don't even know how to explain it to someone. But it's an internal journey, and it is. Anything spiritual, anything that comes from your core is internal, right? It comes from the heart. Okay. Great reading. Great reading. Really good. All right. Have a great month. I'll see you next month.